it is Thursday, June 19th, 2025. I'm not gonna lie, I'm super sore. I'm super tired. I know it doesn't really seem like I've been doing that much. I really haven't been, if you think about it. But again, I am just starting out. I preached this yesterday. I already know if I had gone crazy to start out with, I'd probably already be close to burning out right now. I can't imagine what that would look like. I've been doing things pretty moderately, and I'm still like this sore and tired. It's all right. We're still gonna do what we need to get done. Pretty much same thing today on the agenda. I'm sorry if it seems like my videos are repetitive, but that's how you stay consistent. You do the same thing kind of over and over and over until you establish a routine, until it becomes almost second nature. That's what I'm trying to get into right now. So as always, I'm gonna grab a quick little Oikos yogurt, chow that down real quick, and then get ready for my walk. Pretty windy, so I don't know how well the audio is going to pick up, but that's today's starting point. All right, we'll definitely take that. I apologize for the red nose and how my voice sounds a little congested. The walks are killing my allergies. I've been sneezing up a storm lately. Oh, right on cue. I came home, decided to make myself some breakfast. I did basically the same thing I did last night. I was kind of craving a BLT, so I took 4 pieces of the center cut bacon that I've been using, cut up a tomato, 1 serving of mayonnaise, and then put it between 2 pieces of lettuce. It's really funny, as I was sitting here making my breakfast, I'm sitting here watching the Cubs game on TV. They were on commercial break, and not one, not two, but 3 different weight loss pill commercials by 3 different companies came on back to back to back. Now, unless you have like a medical issue, like I know there's thyroid issues, I know there's, things like PCOS that prohibit people from being able to lose weight naturally. But if you're someone like me that doesn't have any issues like that, you're just lazy and inconsistent, you don't need things like that. You don't need Weight Watchers, you don't need Ozempic, you don't need, whatever they're selling nowadays. You just need to eat better and exercise more. Now, I know I said the other day that eating less and exercising more is the worst advice I ever received. I'm not saying that. I'm saying to eat better. So if you want to be LT, swap out the bread for some lettuce, like I did yesterday, with the turkey sandwich. I opted for lettuce instead of bread again. It's just little things like that. I said it yesterday. You don't have to find new and big, groundbreaking things that work when you start a diet. You just have to find little things like this where you can eat what you want to eat and not feel so crummy about it. Again, if you're on one of those pills or, whatever they are because of a health related issue that prohibits you from losing weight, I totally understand. This message is not directed towards you at all. I'm saying for people in my situation that have nothing medically holding them back from doing anything like this, that are just, lazy, like I said, inconsistent, make empty promises to themselves. You don't need that. You just need to stay consistent, stop being lazy, get up, move more, eat better. Again, I'm not saying to eat less, I'm saying to eat better, and you're going to be way better for it in the future. Just pulled up to the gym and I wanted to show this. I thought it was pretty hilarious. These people have a dent on the side of their car and they put a sticker of Wile E. Coyote looking like he crashed into it. It has nothing to do with the rest of the video, I just thought it was hilarious. Getting started with my favorite body part to work out. Maybe. What is going on here? There we go. So the last time, this is too low or too high. That's as low as it goes. Cool. Last time I lost weight, all I did was walk and, like I said, consume like 800 calories. So when I got down to 248, I had like no shoulders whatsoever. I remember my mom saw a picture of my wife and I on our honeymoon, and she said that I looked like a little kid. I had this big old head and no shoulders. So I'm not gonna let that happen this time around. I'm gonna build the shoulders back up. Nice big shoulders. Triceps are still burning from Monday. Weirdly enough, they're the only body part to still be sore. Like I did legs yesterday. Granted, I didn't do a whole lot, but my legs feel fine today. Perfectly fine. I've always enjoyed shoulder press. I don't know what it is. It was always my favorite thing to train in strongman, like shoulder press and overhead press. There was a point in time 2 years ago where my overhead press was about 20 pounds higher than my bench press. I don't know how many people can relate to that, but I was training strongman where I was training overhead press a lot more than I was training bench press because I don't really use bench press in strongman, but it was kind of interesting. But I do love this movement. Dropped it down about 5 pounds. This is one of those where I'm really going to have to hold myself back and remember to just, you know, keep things light and easy right now. Because anytime I see a shoulder press machine, I just want to go up. And I used to work out at a Planet Fitness about 4 years ago. And I would train shoulder press so much that within like 2 or 3 months, I was maxing out there on their shoulder press machine. So yeah, I don't know what it is, honestly. But this right here is probably my favorite machine to use out of all the machines, maybe ever. I love this machine. At my old gym, they had a Viking press. I love to standing Viking press. Thing was dope. Oh yeah, definitely still feeling it in the triceps. Yeah, again, that's like the only body part of mine that's been sore. I mean, my legs have been sore, but that makes a little more sense because I've been going for walks and bike rides, and yesterday again, like I said, I hit legs. But like, I definitely thought my back was gonna be sore after Tuesday's workout. That wasn't the case. It's literally only the triceps. Ugh. Watch that be the only thing my microphone picks up. I sit here and talk in the gym and you can barely hear me. It's probably because of all the music and everything. But I'm sure when I watch this back, all I'm going to hear is my drinking just goop, goop, goop. That's how things work sometimes. Yeah, just any overhead movement I love. There's so many different variations, training strongman. You got, like I've already mentioned, the Viking press, and you got like axle press. My favorite strongman event, whether it was when I was competing or just watching like World's Strongest Man, I love a log press. I don't know what it is, but like watching like Big Z or Robert Oberst, now like Trey Mitchell do the log press. I love it. Bobby Thompson's a good log presser as well. I don't know what it is about the log press. It just looks. I think most people would say Stones is their favorite strongman event. It's not the case with me. Stones are all right. They're cool and everything, but give me the log press all day long. Fight me if you want to, but I love the log press. It looks so cool. And I just want to restate. I said it yesterday. I'm gonna say it again, just because I did chest on Monday, did back on Tuesday, did legs yesterday, doing shoulders today does not mean this is what I'm going to be doing full time. It's just that with a lot of these, I haven't been doing, you know, workouts like these, and so I'm trying to knock the rust off of those muscles and everything before I, get really going here soon. Oh, this one might be a little awkward to film, but just a warm up. I think machines like this will be a lot more fun to use in the future when I am smaller. I don't know if you can tell by this angle, but I'm pretty cramped in this thing right now. And my range of motion is not amazing right now because I'm already starting like higher than most people would because of all the side boobage on each side. So just little things like that I'm looking forward to. And like I said, trying not to get too caught up in the number of the scale and everything. There are little things like, my wife and parents, they call them non-scale victories. And a couple of non-scale victories that I can think of off the top of my head are things like I just stated, like fitting in these types of machines better. Um, Not having to ask for a seatbelt extender on a flight. I tell you, being 26 years old and having to ask for a seatbelt extender, it's embarrassing. Another one would be my wife and I like to go to Disneyland, and being able to fit on those rides. better. That way I don't feel as cramped in them. It's so hard to enjoy when you're big. You know, rides like Space Mountain, where it's already tight as is. I just can't enjoy them as much because I'm just uncomfortable the entire time. So being able to fit in that better, that's gonna make things like that so much more enjoyable. That's why weight loss is so much more than just the number on the scale. All right, working sets. Fitting in cars better is another one. I mean, I am like 6'3", so certain cars are always going to be a bit of a struggle. But like my wife drives a Camry, and every now and then I have to drive it. It's not very comfortable. The steering wheel almost digs into my gut. So, you know, again, it's just little things like that that I don't think a whole lot of people that aren't overweight realize are a struggle. Looking forward to not being self-conscious to take my shirt off to go swimming or something. The last few years I've been, you know, wearing a shirt to swim, which is not comfortable. It like chokes you sometimes. The collar of your shirt chokes you while you're swimming. It's, just so uncomfortable. And then, you're constantly like peeling it off yourself and, you know, peeling it out from under your rolls. It probably sounds hilarious to somebody that doesn't relate to that, but it's so annoying. And I'm looking forward to, like I said, just being comfortable with my shirt off. I'm actively trying to figure out what to do next. I've looked around and it looks like these are really the only two shoulder specific machines that they have. Might do some sitting dumbbell presses. Maybe I'll even stand for it. You know what? Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to do standing dumbbell shoulder presses. But first things first, gotta finish this. Oh. I'll tell you what, that's not heavy weight when you haven't done it in a while. It's just not a movement you're used to unless you're a professional chicken dancer or something. You don't really use that movement in your every day-to-day life. But again, I don't want childlike shoulders again when I lose weight this time, so shoulders are definitely taking a priority this time. This right here is a perfect example of what I mean by like non-scale victories. When I get down to a weight, I don't have to tuck my shirt in while I do like overhead presses because I'm self-conscious about my stomach falling out. Really looking forward to that day. It's things like this that really only big people can relate to. I'm not trying to call out skinny people by any means. You know, when you're in shape and everything, you don't really think to tuck your shirt when you are doing things like this. I'm sure you might have noticed in my other videos, and probably in this video, you know, I don't even realize that I do it. But at any time that I sit down, I pull my shirt out from, you know, under all my rolls. I've gone through and edited these videos, and let's see, this is the 5th video. I would say between all 4 of the other videos, I probably had to trim out probably at least 2-3 minutes worth of me just like fixing my shirt when I'm sitting down, which may not sound like a lot, but it's really just a quick, like, I do that. So, you know, that takes like, what, a second? So you think, like, probably, like I said, probably a good 2-3 minutes that I've had to edit out over the last few videos of me doing that. Oh. Tell you what, it's all been, you know, super lightweight, but just to be able to throw some weight over my head again for the first time in almost 2 years while I was training strongman, feels good. I love shoulder presses. Oh yeah. I decided for my last thing to stay in the same place. Just do some shoulder shrugs. I love working on my traps. I've always been one of those. My traps are burning. You know, it was a good workout. I love working them. Doing about 5 more per set on these ones. And when I was training strongman, they had a machine like almost specifically built for that, where you just at my old gym, and I would just sit there and do 4 sets of 50 with about 90 pounds in each hand. Nowhere near what I'm doing right now. Doing 20 for, it'll probably end up being 60 reps total. The only downside to shoulder shrugs, while it may feel good while you're doing it, and you probably think you look super cool, you do not. You're just sitting there the whole time. It probably looks ridiculous. It's alright. It's gonna make it in the video anyway, who cares? I think the same can be said for a lot of lifts, though. I just know when I used to train strongman, I would do like a deadlift, and while I'm doing the deadlift, it felt like I had like the most like, you know, picture perfect form possible. Like it just felt like butter. Then like I would watch the video back, and it would look like I was like I'd never deadlifted before. Just looked terrible. That's probably what these shoulder shrugs are gonna look like. That's okay because I'm expecting them to look terrible. Ugh. Who cares what you look like? Just do the work. Do an extra 5 for the last set. Oh yeah. Alright, it looks like all the bikes are taken. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get out of here. I did walk extra this morning. So I think I got enough cardio in. Untuck my shirt because there's no need to be self-conscious anymore. We'll get over that eventually. Like I said, that'll be one of my non-scale victories. But just a quick little shoulder workout. Nothing too fancy. Not nearly as much weight as I used to be able to throw around. I don't know if I'm going to get back up to that level. Not really too worried about that. Right now, like I said, my main focus is losing weight. But another main focus is to not have little kid shoulders again. One day at a time, though. In no rush. If you stay consistent, you'll see results over time. That's just what I'm trying to do right now. All right, about to head home, make some grub. But first, protein shake! I don't even know what that was. I'm sorry. I'm drinking a protein shake. So I have something a little different today for lunch. My wife's workplace catered Chipotle for their employees last night, which is pretty cool. And my awesome wife decided to bring me home a steak burrito. I was really looking forward to eating it, and then I looked up how many calories are in it. Just a plain steak burrito with, rice, steak, black beans, looks like some kind of salsa, came out to over 1,000 calories. And so I was like, man, I really want to eat this thing. How can I make it work? So then I decided to look up how much a steak burrito bowl is in calories, and that was about 418 calories. So I took the tortilla off. I swapped it for these two wellness wraps that I've been using. So all in all, this entire thing right here comes out to about 538 calories and about 47 grams of protein. A little lighter on the protein than I would like. Again, I would like to stay in that 1 gram of protein per 10 calories range. But 47 grams of protein and 538 calories is a way better ratio than 47 grams of protein and over 1,000 calories. I'm going to chow down on this. I'm really looking forward to this. See you in a bit. All right, guys. So for dinner tonight, I don't have anything fancy. I'm just going to do a protein shake and a Built Bar. I split that burrito up into two things earlier, and that was pretty heavy. So I don't really feel like cooking anything right now or anything. I'm also exhausted. I think it's because I'm going for walks so late in the morning and the heat just beats down on me, so I have like heat exhaustion going on. I just really need to wake up earlier, go on my walks at an earlier time before the sun is out and, just unbearable. I'm going to go to bed a little earlier tonight. That way I can get up earlier in the morning and try to beat the heat. Total calories on the day came out to about 1,450, and I had about 180 grams of protein. I did consider skipping dinner altogether, but I'm like, that's not a good idea. So that is why I'm doing the protein shake and the protein bar, just to get, some protein in me. Get those calories up because I still burn the same amount of calories as yesterday. I didn't want to be in like a 900 calorie deficit. So I'm gonna be, doing this stuff for dinner. It's 300 calories between the two things. So that brings me up to about 1,450, and again, about 180 grams of protein. That is an official wrap on day 4 of the weight loss journey. We'll see you tomorrow for day 5.